Stop following the algorithm. Now I know you're sitting there scratching your head going, I'm sorry, did this girl just tell me to stop following the algorithm? To which every YouTuber says, oh, well, the algorithm this, the algorithm that. That is why I wanted to make this her vidya, the algorithm. I'm finally going to talk about it. I guess I've had some subtle desire to talk about this for some time, and I haven't because I felt like, if I'm being honest, who am I to even voice an opinion on the subject, considering I'm literally by the mathematical whatever, I am a nano influencer. So like I'm the tiniest of influencers. I'm not even really relevant as one as such. So I felt like it was pertinent to talk about this whole algorithm thing just a little bit because I feel like there's one big thing that everybody's missing. And it's perhaps this realization. If you're just doing things for the algorithm, I mean, look, maybe you are being successful with the algorithm. What occurred to me, however, the other day as sort of a new insight about this, even for myself, was that here's the thing. The algorithm at the end of the day is just a computer program. It's mathematical equations that is doing the doings of this algorithm, right? I'll admit, I'm not good at math. I'm dyslexic with math specifically. And numbers have not been my strong suit ever. However, the reason I wanted to talk about the algorithm is because I feel like, at least what I've seen for a good while here now, is that creators are creating for the sake of the algorithm and not because they want to title the video that, or because they want to make that thumbnail that way. They're doing these things for the clicks, for the algorithm, for a robotic system. Now, I have nothing against robots whatsoever. The invitation I'm giving you here is to assess for yourself. If you're a content creator here on YouTube, if you're creating content for yourself, or if you're allowing yourself to be, what's the word? It just went out of my head. If you're allowing yourself to gosh, the word is completely gone from me. Essentially, the system is telling you what to do, and therefore you're following in the, I have to do X, Y plus Z because that means the algorithm will favor me. Now, while that may work, what I wanted to suggest was that you don't follow the algorithm. However, I really think that it would behoove the content creators of today who are perhaps like me and wanting to be a new voice for the new world that is emerging, which is not so much in patriarchy, which is more balanced, which is a lot more free, which looks very, very different than the systems we currently have in place. I invite you to explore outside of doing things just for the algorithm, because while you can do things for clickbait and you can do things for reviews, I would invite you to ask yourself, are those things sustainable? And also realize this, that, and this is why my channel is actually also called EmOrganically, when things are not organic, eventually people know. I don't know how else to say that. People are smart. Even though a lot of the time we think that they're like not maybe so smart. People for the most part are smart, and they know when you're full of it. They know when it's an act. People can tell when you're putting something on versus when you're being your authentic self, i.e. me right now, albeit uncomfortable talking about the algorithm because I feel like I have no right to talk about it. Still, it's been on my mind for a good while, watching all these content creators create their thumbnails so that they get the clicks, and putting in tags just so that they get the clicks, making their titles, not something that they would want to title the video, instead something that they know will get the clicks. Everything is so very robotic that I've been seeing out there. And what I want to encourage you to do is lean into the organics, to lean into who you are authentically, to instead lean in the opposite way, lean into yourself, lean into your authenticity, lean into the titles you want to title things, and try titling things that way. Try creating thumbnails per what you want to create rather than what you think will be eye-catching for the algorithm. And I know it will, I'm not going to pretend that I know how this experiment will turn out. I would invite you to approach this as such, as an experiment, because I have a funny feeling, and I'm going to, of course, be testing this out for myself. I have a funny feeling that the results and ultimate outcomes of whatever you create, when you allow yourself to fall back into the rhythm of yourself and your own organic nature, that the content you're creating will not only feel better, but will have a much greater impact because you will actually be authentic. Like, I laugh to myself sometimes when I talk about authenticity, because I refer back to this mentor that I had who said to us essentially, you know, it's not like everybody's out there banging down the doors like, I need some authenticity. And it's so true. And yet at the same time, that is in a way what a lot of people are doing energetically. They're like begging and banging down the doors of people to be like, please show me where the authenticity is at. Like, how do I go back to being authentic? Because some of us have found that we were like living in these little robot suits and like, beep, boop, push button, now do this thing, beep, boop. Not very fun. So I invite you to take a look, invite you, as I often do, invite you to examine your lives, to examine why are you creating content, I guess, number one. Are you doing it for you or are you doing it to help? It actually kind of doesn't matter. However, I'm here to help you guys. That's why I do ultimately end up making these. And like I said, I've noticed a pattern of a lot of content creators, and some of whom I really respect. Like, they are much bigger in terms of the literal size of their channels than me. Like, I'm literally a speck of dust in comparison, and I still feel the need to speak about this because let me put it this way. I know that some of the creators I watch who are adhering to these standards, shall we say, of the algorithm, are capable of amazing creations. And I really hesitate to use the word better. They are absolutely able to create bigger, different, more impactful things. And because they're confining themselves to that, their creativity power is just like this compared to where it would be amazingly impactful. So don't stifle yourself like that. Like, I would invite you to not allow yourself to be stifled in the very many ways, which unfortunately society does attempt to keep us in our little sad squay. I can really not words today. Our sad, square, gray boxes somehow became squay. If this video has been of any help to you, or if you found comedy value in it at all, please do subscribe. And if you want to, share this with anyone who you know that this might also help. If you would like to reach out to me, you can always do that for support or anything else down below at this email address. And I wish you, beautiful cats, a beautiful and blessed rest of your day or night. Take what I said on board and think about whether you're creating for you, whether you're creating from your heart and authenticity, or whether you're creating things for the algorithm. And I would invite you to take a step outside of that if you are in that rhythm, and to try out and see how that goes for you, because I feel as though we need a revolution in creativeness, creative nature, to allow people's inner children to kind of come back and return, and a little bit to run the show because they have more fun. But that's a whole tangent for another day, which I won't give to you guys here. So have a beautiful and blessed rest of your day. I really hope this was helpful, and I will see you, gorgeous cats, in the next video. Stay well, stay healthy. Namaste. Much love. Bye. I'm assuming, I guess, but it's as many things as I often do. Squay. I can really not words today. Robot suits and like, beep, boop, push button, now do this thing, beep, boop, algorithm. Love yourself enough to do something crazy like that.